So for this video, I'll be going over the 2000 Lakers team and the 2010 Lakers team and their differences between the decade. We're gonna look at a Laker vs Clipper game where Shaq scored his career high, and the battle between Nash and Kobe in the 2010 playoffs to highlight the team's changes. Let's get right into it. I like how both games started with Kobe driving to the hoop. I think it just shows his aggression to the game, which never really faded throughout his career. One thing that was interesting with the 2000 Lakers team though was when Kobe goes to shoot his free throws, his teammates didn't go for a high five, in contrast to the 2010 team. I know he missed a free throw, but on the next play, it shown that Kobe's teammates was already going in for a high five no matter the result. So even though it's just a small detail, maybe even just a coincidence, I feel like the 2010 team had better relationships than the 2000 team. Another major difference is the offense. In the 2000 team, it's post-ups, after post-ups, after post-ups, and more post-ups, as they relied on their big man a lot for scoring. Even though there was a lot of post-ups, it was surprising to see how fast the pace was. Of course, it's not as fast as the game today, but whenever they had a chance to push the ball, they were definitely looking for those advantages. And it's impressive that even though Shaq is a traditional big man, he was still running the floor with them. On the other hand, with the 2010 team, there was definitely more perimeter play, as there was a lot more jump shots, specifically from the mid-range.
This is a different situation. Fisher wide open. Yes.
Even on the first possession for the Suns, Nash is already pulling transition 3. I also saw a little bit of how the game is played now. When Nash baited Fisher to this foul, it's a bit overused today, but players have gotten more creative with it. Then the biggest difference between the two teams would be Kobe's tag team partner. Shaq would go to the free throw line a lot because of how dominant of a scorer in the paint he was. So I find it weird that the Clippers played him one-on-one straight up, because he just got to his spot easily. And whenever help does come, he did a good job of getting shot up quickly. Even though Shaq is not known for making his free throws, he had many attempts this game and he made 13 of them, which contributed to his career high.
Stay tuned for Channel 9 News, ladies and gentlemen.
Going back to the post defense, I find it weird that help comes late, considering that the way the game was played back then, most of the points comes from the paint. And in 2010, when there was more perimeter play, the post defense was actually more aggressive on denying and trying not to get it there. I feel like fronting Shaq and bringing help in early from the weak side would have helped the 2000 Clippers team on defending Shaq. Just a little bit though, because Shaq was still athletic and skilled for his size. Now with the 2010 team, they have Pau Gasol, who is not as dominant of a scorer in the paint, but is a more all-around player who can shoot from the outside, pass, move without the basketball, and defend the perimeter a little bit better.
It's a longer shot than usual for Kyle. He got the half minute remaining first half.
When Shaq defended a stretch 5 type of player, he struggled a lot keeping up with him. Although he came up with a pretty good counter, which is just closing out as much as he can and trying to get an easy bucket on the other side of the floor, because he's already in a position where he's ahead of everyone. And these are more plays from the 2010 team. I think their team had more ball movement, spacing, and just a variety of ways to score, unlike the 2000 team, who had a lot of options. They could have played in the perimeter more with Kobe, but they chose to rely on their post play heavily.
Artest kicks it back. Nice pass from Fisher. Finds
This team also ran the triangle a little bit higher sometimes, which gave them more spacing.
turn things around. Derek Fisher went on that run early and may have really picked it up as Otis back.
And they ran high lows with Kobe at the high post and Pau at the low post, which drew a lot of attention from the defense. Shaq was also more of the go-to guy on the 2000 team versus the 2010 team when Kobe would just take over.
Yes. In practice, Bryant
Quarter here, the bench, so they have not gotten into any rhythm. And Kobe, they're making Steve Nash take a lot of shots tonight. Remember, Mark, how difficult it was for him to get shots. And here's
Lastly is their defense. The 2000 team would focus more on forcing the opponents to the sideline and baseline. I think this was very effective for them because, as I said earlier, big men didn't really guard the perimeter very well, and so if they know which direction the ball is going, they can help out a lot better. Sometimes they would be on the wrong side of the screen though, and it wouldn't really work out for them, of course. It didn't really happen a lot this game though, so they were able to guard the pick and roll very well. On the other hand, since the 2010 team was playing against Steve Nash, who is an MVP point guard, they used different coverages to try and throw him off and contain him. Unfortunately, sometimes they would get switched out and the big man would be guarding Steve Nash, and he was able to take advantage of the mismatch.
throughout the series. He'll live with 30-plus games from Kobe Bryant as long as they're outside.
Even his other teammates were able to take advantage of this.
Hill, yes, shot clock to 4. Here comes Nash. Stoudemire.
oh, Water again here tonight, only one basket.
Once again, Gasol jumping out on Nash, who hits over him with the
Which is why the game was very competitive and very close.
comes up short.
While the other game was a blowout and Lakers were just having fun with it. All in all though, the two teams had the same fire and just different techniques, different animal, the same beast, and the approaches they took was obviously very effective for both teams because they were both able to win the championships.
Our champions, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Thank you for watching. Hope you guys tune in on the next evolution.